Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in for another S.E.E.K Science video powered by S.E.E.K Foundation. Today we are going to make candles and go over heat transfer. Yay! So let's get started. If you really want to learn how to make candles, you are going to need all of these materials. First, we're going to start off with the most important ingredient, paraffin wax. You want to make sure that you have paraffin wax, and you can use different types of wax for different type of candles, but we're using this for today. Move this to the side. You are going to need your wick holders, or not wick holders, but candle wick. You're gonna need these. And if you notice, they have a metal piece at the bottom, but you have some that do not have a metal piece, but these are the ones that I have. So candle wick. You are going to need a double boiler. So I am using this pot with my beaker as my double boiler so that it's not directly on the stove, because it can become very explosive depending on how much heat you add to it, to the wax. When I say it, you need your candle holder. So this is the fancy one I am going to use. The candle will be in here. It's going to go in here like that. And I'll also make one that's not so fancy using this candle holder. Okay, I have my beaker just to pour my scent in it, and it comes from Nature's Garden, and this was donated by Scentability, and they work with children who are autistic because of the background of her children. All right, so I am going to use this as my fragrance for my scent. And I also have crayons. I love to color, but we're not coloring today. So I will pick a color that I want my candle to be and use the crayon for the color of my candle. Pair of scissors when I'm ready to cut my candle wick. And a measuring cup. You don't really need it. Well, you do need it, but I'm using this as a scooper. Okay? One last thing. Popsicle stick to stir. So let's get started. Step number 1. You are going to make your double boiler with your pot and your beaker. You will add 1/3 of water inside of your pot. Let it come to a boil. And once it comes to a boil, you will add your wax in the beaker filled to the top and put it in the bottom. Step number 2. While your wax is melting in your double boiler, you are going to decide, which color you would like to use. So these are the two colors that I want to use. This is kind of like a pinkish, well, it's rose, a rose color, and this is yellow. So I'm going to make 2 candles, and I want to use this one for the design, and this one will be for the one that's not designed. You're going to take the paper off, and then you're going to put it in your wax. Okay, put it in your wax. As it melts, you just stir it with your popsicle stick and you'll have your color. Now you have it, the color you want to use. No paper on your crayon, and you're just going to break it up in pieces and put it in your wax. Because I am making 2 candles, I am going to do the same steps to heat the candle wax so that it can be pressed into a liquid and add my next color. So it's the same steps. So what you will see will be the actual color when it's done for 2 colors. Okay. All right, I am back, everyone. The next step you are going to do while your wax is melting and you've added your color, you are going to create your candle wick so that you can light your candle. And how to do that, I'm going to show you one process at a time, and then you can just do it again with the second one. The candle wick that has the metal pieces, the bottom to hold it. So you can use a pencil, toothpick, or a pen. And I like to tell the students, just make a T and wrap it around, right? And the reason why you're making a T is because you want it to sit across your container like so it doesn't fall in, okay? And so that it's centered in the middle. So you are going to make a T, put it in your container so that it sits at the bottom or a little bit above the bottom, and you will then pour your wax in the inside. Now I am going to add a little bit of fragrance, and this one is white sage and sea salt. Smells so good. Oh my God. All you need is a little bit. And I will use a pipette to add a few drops of that inside of my wax once it cools down. You don't want to add it while it is too hot because it's going to change its molecular structure of the fragrance. When you heat things up, it changes its molecular structure, and then it turns into something else, chemical reaction, which is a chemical change. All right, so I'm going to add this once my wax cool down, but not too cool so that it becomes a solid, but cool enough so it doesn't change the molecular structure of my scent. And then pour it inside of your container and let it sit for about 20 to 30 minutes, or you can put it in a refrigerator to let it cool down within 10 to 15 minutes. And after that, we're going to cut the wick and we'll be done. Stay tuned. There you have it. So you just want to make sure that they dry completely. These are not dry, but this is the finished product of what it would look like once it's dry. But you can go ahead and cut the wick, and then you can light it. Smells good. Smells so good. So this is how you make candles, and the process on how you can make candles is through heat transfer. And there's 3 types of ways heat can be transferred: through conduction, convection, and radiation. But the most important part that we used to make candles was through the process of convection. And what is convection? It's a way heat is transferred. And there's 3 things you need to know about how heat is transferred through convection. 1, hot air floats. 2, cold air sinks. 3, in circular motion. That's the easiest way I can explain it. And when I say circular motion, the hot air is going to flow because of the heat and the the molecules with the energy of the molecules. The cold air is going to sink and it's going to keep going through a cycle, circular motion, which is called convection current. Okay? So there you have it, boys and girls, or parents, ladies and gentlemen. Candles, topic, heat transfer, but we only talked about convection. Make sure you follow us for more videos and fun ways on how to learn science with S.E.E.K Foundation and our S.E.E.K Science Club.